Now my videos teach standard form, okay? I really love standard form, and that's where you have ax plus by is c, okay? For instance, 3 times x, where you have an x variable and a y value variable, and you'll have like a 3x and a 4y is a 5, okay? Where c is a number, b is a number, and a is a number. Don't forget now, to be standard form, the a here, this a must be a positive number. If a is not a positive number, you'll have to rewrite it in standard form. You'll probably have to change all of the signs to do that. But to really do this thing right, a must be what? Positive or greater than 0. It cannot be a negative here. Okay? Standard form, 3x, 4y, 5. Now b could be negative, but a must be a positive number or you're going to get confused on this. All right? Now, is this standard form? Well, no, because standard form would have 3x plus or minus y. See, the y's on the left side. Standard form has to have the x's and y's on the left side and the number on the right side. So you don't have the x's over here. This is not standard form. This, by the way, is slope-intercept form, where the slope is 3 and the intercept is 4. Slope-intercept form, where you have y equals the slope times x plus the intercept. This is a very special form also. A lot of equations are written in this form. Okay? Is this standard form, where you have ax, by, and c, where a is a positive number? Yes, that's standard form. This is standard form. You see why the last one wasn't? You didn't have the x's over here, did you? Here you got something x, and the x comes first, doesn't it? Okay? And x is positive. So yes, this is standard form. How about this one? Is this standard form? Almost, but the x has to come first, doesn't it? So right now, this is not standard form. You could write it in standard form where you'd have 2x plus 3y is 6, but right now it's not. This is not standard form. In order to use standard form, we must have it in standard form first. Okay? Is this standard form? Well, you got the x on the right side. The x should be first, it should be on the left side. So no way. No way. How about this one? Is this standard form? Well, you got 101x with 101. Is that standard form? Sure. Because you got a number and it's positive, and then you have your x. Then you have this number, by, b times y, and you have the c. So yes, this is standard form. Even with a number, crazy number like 101, this is standard form because you start off with the x, and then you have your y, and you don't have any variables over here. Is this standard form? Almost, almost. Why is this not standard form? Well, the number in front of a has to be positive. Okay? All right? So you could convert this into standard form if you change this sign, and this sign. Multiply everything through by -1. But right now, no, this is not standard form. So don't try to tell me what the slope is if you don't have it in standard form. Make it standard form first. Is this equation standard form? Yes. You have ax, by, and c. So this is standard form. Now we're going to find the equation of a line passing through the point -3, -4 that is perpendicular to the -4x minus 3y is 43. First of all, this is not standard form because x is not positive. I know you have ax, by, and c, but this number has to be positive. So that our very first thing before we do anything on this is write the equation in standard form by doing what? We're going to change the sign on this, and this. We're going to multiply this by -1, the second one by -1, and the third one by -1. See, copy down the equation. I did nothing but copy the equation down. But if I want to change this to a plus, I have to multiply this by -1. But when you do that there, you have to do it here and here. So we end up at 4x plus 3y is a -43. And now we have standard form. Now you can tell me the slope is -4/3, can't you? Okay? So write it in standard form first. Now, secondly, in order to get a line perpendicular, if you look at my videos, the way I teach it, if you were to get a line that's perpendicular to this one, reverse the coefficients. So you'll have a 3 times an x. This sign's going to be changed. And you're going to have 4 times y. Okay, reverse the numbers and change the sign. Okay? Now we've got a line that's perpendicular to my original line. All right? All right? The next thing to do, let x be minus 3 and y be minus 4, so I can substitute that point in there. I'll have 3 times minus 3 and negative 4 times negative 4. So I have 3 times minus 3 and negative 4 times negative 4. I'm going to have negative 9 here and plus 16, and that's going to give me a 7. Okay? So we substitute in the point into my perpendicular equation here, and we'll find the line that's perpendicular to this one going through the point. Now, write the equation. You got your 7. Remember we solved it and got 7? Simply write your equation. Okay, now in order to finish the problem, what we're going to do now, this is finished really, but you might want it in a different form when we're finished. Okay, so if we solve this equation for y, I can get it in slope-intercept form, can I? Okay. Now, what do you do when you want to solve for y? Right now it's a negative 4y. What would you like it to be? I'd like it to be a positive 4y, wouldn't you? So I'm going to add 4y to both sides of the equation. That's going to give me my 3x. It's going to give me my 7. But instead of negative 4y, I'm going to have a plus 4y. Okay? And then since I'm solving this for y, I have to get rid of the 7. So we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. 3x minus 7 is 4y. And then divide it by 4. Everything gets divided by 4. You divide this by 4, divide the negative 7 by 4, and divide the 4y by 4. So you end up with y here. See, this cancels out. You end up with y equals 3/4 times the x, like that, minus your 7/4. And this is the choice, one of our choices here. Okay? That's the only one that makes any sense out of our choices. Okay? The others are wrong. The other choices are wrong. This, by the way, once again, is slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form.